Hello. Today I'm going to be walking you through how I kind of construct my concerts just a little bit. So oftentimes I'm always revamping my concert, whether it's my speeches or the song order or just all the other little details that go along with that. But today I'm going to be I have an upcoming concert in August at a church in Kearney, Nebraska. That they just want about 30 minutes of my show, basically, and kind of focusing on perseverance. So I'm going to kind of show you how I take my product and then I kind of whittle it down and alter some things. So yeah, enjoy. All right, so here is basically my most recent version of Through Life Storm Speeches. I most recently did this at a church in March, and this is all the stuff that I tried to have memorized on top of my music. And what I wanted to say. So yeah, you can see everything in here. It's actually not my most concise version because typically I will also state like which piece I'm playing, which is helpful towards all sorts of things, including other people that might be needing to look at my notes. Yeah, so here we have the beginning, which is the first piece that I usually play there, and so that's all I'm trying to write in here, just so that's a little bit more clear that that's actually how this concert goes. So the first thing I'm actually going to do here is make this a little bit easier for myself. I'm going to call this PEO concert in Kearney. Oops. Kearney. All right, so just to make sure that I know that this is an edited version of my my speeches. And so yeah, so at this here, the very beginning, the first thing I do is I start with a piece of music. I like to start with the trombone because that answers a lot of people's questions. Most people have never heard a solo trombone before, and so by starting off with either the beginning or the changes in the wind, that answers a lot of people's questions and helps them, I think it helps them settle in just a little bit more so that they know what to expect. Everybody knows what to expect with the piano. They don't know what to expect with the trombone. And these are just kind of fun little songs. So what I'm going to be doing today is kind of be looking at all of my speeches and see, how they work and what I need to do with them. So, I have to focus on the fact that we are looking at perseverance today. That's going to be kind of the big goal, and also whittling this down to about 30 minutes. When I do this thing in its entirety, I think it runs about an hour and 10 minutes. So that's greatly a lot more than what I have here. So obviously we're going to start right at the beginning, and so I'd play that piece, and then I would say my typical intro, which is something slightly bland. It says, hello and welcome, my name is Justin Brown, right? That first piece you heard is the beginning, and it's all about starting out on a journey. All right, and that's what we're doing today. I'll be taking you on a journey through one of my storms in life. These storms come in many forms: divorce, loss of a loved one, pandemic. No matter the storms, they all have the power to drastically affect our lives by these storms. So when I'm thinking about how this relates to perseverance, I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. I might change one of these sentences. That's what we're going to do today. I'll be taking you on a journey through one of my storms in life, and how that taught me perseverance. All right, so right there I can kind of just articulate a little bit one of my goals with people so they can hear what I have to say. After that, I think I can go straight into this next piece here, which would be the storms of life. So I'll add that in so it's more clear for myself. The storms of life, and that's the one that goes. Right, so it's kind of a fun, peppy song there. Then we have one of my storms in life began back in 2012. Months after receiving my master's degree in music performance, I thought I was going to conquer the world. Instead, I found myself in a car crash, intensive unit. In an instant, I lost my identity, community, family, friends, and my identity as a musician. I think that's all perfectly fine. I need people to understand that I was persevering something in my life, and it happened to be that situation right there. So, I think that's totally fine to leave in. But from here, I'm probably going to start cutting out some things. So, I see I've been reduced to sitting in a chair. Left a lot of time for thinking, maybe too much time, right? This is where I'm probably going to start cutting out. These next two pieces, we've got titles and shimmers. They're really, really good and emotional pieces. They're a little bit slower, and there's nothing wrong with slow. But I do need to, title I think is like 5.5 minutes, and shimmers I think also is actually about 5.5 minutes, 5.5 or 6 minutes for either one of those. So that's a ton of time right there, plus the speaking right here just adds up. So that's an easy amount of time to take out. And it's actually more about myself and, letting people know, again, what I was going through and how I felt. And that's not necessarily what we need to focus on for this upcoming concert. So I will, at least at this moment, probably cut out these songs. And so then that means I need to kind of also delete some of these speeches here. So I think I'll probably just get rid of all of it, at least for right now. I can always go back to one of my previous notes and add this back in. So, I'm just making sure. Okay, I don't think I see anything in there. So, oh yeah, no, there is one thing. So, let's do this. As I looked over my life and my destruction, I'll get rid of the waves of emotion, because that's directly talking about title. They washed over me, and then I would see shimmers who I used to be and who I might become. I decided that I needed to do something productive with my life. So from there, I thought if I can't play music, maybe I can write it. And I think that's a good first summary of a perseverance action, basically, right? Do something. And so that's what I did. I started writing music. Looking back, I was telling my story. So this is helping me tell people what I do and where this stuff comes from. And I think that's pretty helpful. So I'm going to get rid of that next line there. But I will, unfortunately, continue talking. So I'll probably have to look at this and shore it up a little bit from there. Keep it concise. People like me talking, but not talking that much, right? So I'm a musician, right? So as I pick up the pieces, I'm going to realize I still had something left to share with the world. I think that one's okay for right now. In order to do that, I'd have to overcome some obstacles, right? One of those obstacles is overcoming my injuries, aka perseverance, right? That was a process that took years of perseverance, and I had to relearn how to play my instrument. It also took courage. I think right now I'll leave courage in. We'll see how that goes, but let me see. So right here, I'll be, after that little speech, I'll be playing perseverance, and then also I'll be playing courage. I knew I spelled that one wrong. I spelled both of them wrong. Good. Anyways, so I'll be playing both of those pieces. Both of those pieces, by the way, are 2.5 minutes long each. So that's about 5 minutes plus easily a couple of minutes. We'll describe that in speaking right there. Then you have a 6-minute song right here. So, and then you also have, again, another 2.5 minute. A lot of my songs seem to be like 2.5 minutes long, which is perfectly fine with me. But so we have 8.5 minutes between these two songs right here, and then another 5 minutes between those two songs down there. So that's, easily over 15 minutes right here. So we're already halfway through what they're wanting me to do. And I have already at least discussed perseverance, right? The next big goal that I have is to tie in time together, because I believe that you really can't do things, you can't persevere in the long run by yourself. You might be able to persevere for a day, but persevering for a week or persevering for a month or a year, you really have to start leaning on other people for the days that aren't as good as the other ones, right? So in this one here, I'm probably going to keep a lot of this other stuff out. That's more for the big putting everything together. But yeah, okay. Let's see, yeah. So yeah, I'd probably start actually right here with I could not be in front of you today, healed physically, also mentally and spiritually, without my community of family, friends, and church members who had my back. That way people understand, again, this is half a concert and half a promotion, I guess you could describe it. So I want to let people know what I'm all about, and I'm all about faith, hope, community, and action. And so this basically talks about my community. I already just talked about my action, and yeah, a little bit of hope actually was discussed previously up here when I said, oh, I actually can pick up the pieces and I still have something left to share with the world, right? That within itself is a little bit of hope. And action, again, was actually also up there where I started writing music, right? There was action there, or I began to relearn how to play my instrument. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to whittle down this whole section here because this ties in two big pieces that are a little bit geared towards, again, that whole concert where it takes a little bit more time to get through. And it's a little bit more personal. But I would probably cut out some of this stuff and get it to the point where I talk about, again, community and finding a way to tie that in together and making that nice and clear. And then from there, I'm actually probably close to my 30 minutes. So I would probably play one or two other fun pieces, like basically After the Storm or something like that. I don't know. I probably would actually go straight to, I'll have to think about this, but it'll probably, I might probably have to go to this one just to make sure that it still makes sense. Because then I can still talk about basically everything that I just talked about, right? I can talk about, from the beginnings of a car crash, loss of self, soul surgery. Well, I'll have to get rid of that. But reestablishing a community, leaning on my faith and doing everything, again, I'll have to clean that up just a little bit. But I think that's kind of where I'm looking at here for right now. And that's kind of how I go about these speeches. So, yeah. All right, that was how I kind of start working through and coming up with a plan for making these concerts. It's kind of cool that I can easily just work with my material and just kind of mold it for one thing or another, and not have to drastically alter everything. It's pretty fun that my message, when you want something specific out of it, I can gear it towards that, and kind of mold it in different directions. It's interesting that I can take out pieces, right, and not lose the overall effectiveness of what I'm trying to say. You'll always have to kind of keep in mind how long the pieces are and how long it takes to talk. And so this was just a very beginning stage for me. So it definitely takes time to get everything figured out, but it's kind of a fun part of the creative process. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that, and I'm looking forward to doing this concert in a couple of weeks. Thanks.